Brothers, the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. Along my side, as always, my brother, Sean Ducross. Man, this is wild to actually be live on TikTok. So thank you, TikTok, for giving us the live access. Appreciate it. It took us a minute to try to figure this out, but please hit us up with gifts. Hit us up with whatever this new platform is. Just drop us whatever these gifts are and stuff like that. You can talk to us in the chat. But, man, we got an incredible lineup for you tonight that will pretty much kind of change the directory of what combat sports is and where we're kind of going right now. Because from one side of the ring, you can go with wrestling. To the other side of the ring, you can go with boxing. But as we start with a bombshell tease that Logan Paul says he's ready for MMA, Sean. But is it all hype, or is the WWE megastar actually ready to step inside the cage? And then we also have things that just got a little bit more real in the bantamweight division in the UFC, as our boy Patchy Mix has joined the mix. Get it? See the pun? You get it? And then don't worry about it. We ain't ducking about the rumors either. And yes, we talking about the rumors. The rumors about Dana White. You don't want to sleep on this at all, so stay put right here with your boys, the Ducross brothers. Finally, we'll close out with a mega fight, a fight that has everybody talking about in the combat sports world, and that's Canelo versus Bud Crawford. So, Sean, first up, let's talk about the WWE megastar Logan Paul dropping the tease that he might be going to MMA. Do we see him before his brother? Like, that's crazy to me.
You would think it'd be the exact opposite, Tristan, because of the fact that when you look at what Jake Paul has done and the fact that he's part of PFL, you would assume that he would be the one that would quickly transition. But then you look over at what Logan Paul has continuously done and elevated what the Paul brothers mantra is. I think if you look at it, like, yes, don't get me wrong, Jake Paul has brought the elevation of boxing to another height, another level, but the amount of notoriety, the amount of eyes on Logan Paul is at a different level because he's with TKO, he's with WWE, he has his own podcast called Impulsive. He's got so many different things that he's always out there in the general public, whether it's Prime, you name it. He's always doing something. So for him to say, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm interested in maybe fighting MMA and maybe fighting his own brother for that matter in MMA is, to me, not that far-fetched as you once would have thought it would have been, because of the fact that when you look at everything he's done, the body of work, it doesn't surprise me. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does and what avenue he could take because of the fact that, well, I mean, you got UFC, but you know UFC is not going to do the weird fight, if you will, because they tried that with CM Punk. It's not something that I see coming to fruition unless it's in the PFL and that it is against somebody over on that area.
Is it wild to think about that we are in 2025 and we will be talking about YouTubers? We're not talking about the combat sports world that we've been in, Sean, for the last couple of years. It's like we disappeared for 3 and came back, Sean, and all of a sudden, YouTubers take over the world.
But the YouTubers have been taking over the world for a while. And, I mean, you could date what the Pauls have done with social media and this type of environment going viral, dating all the way back to, what was that one weird one? Vines.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And they're a Disney kid. They were doing weird stuff before weird stuff was a cool thing. They figured it out before everybody else figured it out. And then kept trending and trending and trending and trending and trending. You look in the era of gifted athletes. We've talked about this before. There are some people that are just built gifted.
Yeah, that's very true.
And they're both gifted, very athletic. Whether you want to admit it or not, sometimes you got to suck up your pride, Tristan, and just admit that you hate the Paul brothers just because of the fact that they're better than you. That's what it comes down to. When there's any hate on the Paul brothers, that's what it comes down to. It's because of the fact that you're jealous of everything that they're able to do, and you wish you had that athletic ability. At least I'm able to sit here and say, man, I wish I had that athletic ability, but I fell short.
I told you a while back that if I could challenge the Paul brothers, I would challenge the Paul brothers, and I would take you with me, and we would challenge the Paul brothers. So if on TikTok, if you guys want, hey, I'm still open to it. I'm still open to get after the Paul brothers. But, man,
get punched in the face.
Who could he fight, though? Who would make a name with him or bring the notoriety that you were talking about to a upper atmosphere, Sean?
Outside of his brother?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know even what weight class he may fight in.
Sean, what about Dylan Dennis? He's a viral guy, ain't he? What about the worst MMA fighter in the history of MMA, CM Punk? That would draw, would it not?
CM Punk versus Logan Paul, and then no.
How about Patty Pimblett? You could sell something,
bro. No, he is not going to fight in the UFC.
I'm just saying
he's not going to fight in the UFC. I mean, I give you credit for that one. That's one of the rare ones.
But does he even have, at this point, does Logan Paul stand a chance in the MMA cage? Honestly, I don't think he can.
Tristan, we didn't think he was going to stand a chance in WWE. Look at him now.
He's gifted.
Gifted. So Tristan,
go ahead, guys. Keep liking this stream. Keep liking this stream. I appreciate you. Drop some gifts in there too, and show your love. I appreciate you guys. This is pretty cool to actually be on here live. So we have never done a TikTok live, so this is pretty cool. What's up, Fernando Chavez? We got Kimmy. We got Dimples in there. Thank you guys. If you guys want to chat, dude, drop some stuff in here. We will be more than happy to talk with you guys.
But yeah, so you look at it, and it's like you can't be surprised if he comes into mixed martial arts and takes it by storm. Look how long it took him to just he picked up wrestling in a blink of an eye. You want to know who here's something for everybody. We don't have this on the notes, but let me throw this out there for you that I don't think you know. So you want to talk about Logan Paul and maybe not being able to make it in MMA, right? You want to know he's actually training in mixed martial arts right now? Do you want to know who he's training with right now in MMA? Go ahead. Take a guess. Let's see if you know. He fights in the UFC. He was a former world champion. You want to take a guess, or do you want me to tell the fight?
You tell me. Tell me.
The style bender. Adesanya. That's who he's training with right now.
Share this live, guys. We got hot takes.
He's training with those guys. So to say that, like, that's what I mean is that he's on another level when it comes to wanting to take things very seriously because he's so athletically gifted, Tristan. He could go wherever he wants. When he started training for wrestling, where did he go? Went to the Performance Center. Started training with Shawn Michaels in them. And then now, maybe I'll just do MMA. Oh, wait, let me go train with the style bender. Wait, what? That's the type of mentality he has. See, don't get me wrong about Jake Paul, okay? Jake Paul, fantastic when he takes boxing seriously. But Logan is the better athlete out of the two. He has more range than those two. Business-wise, I think from business, that's Jake Paul. Don't get me wrong, he's got a very big thing in Prime, but he's got help over there. But I mean, in terms of like promoting himself, Jake Paul's very good in that aspect. When you put a machine behind Logan, game changer.
But if you're talking about a machine being put behind him, Sean, you're talking about all this stuff as to where he's currently at, correct?
Yeah.
My only issue with him is, hey, bravo to all the training. Bravo. Amazing at what he's been able to accomplish in the MMA world, not the MMA world, in the WWE world, right? Amazing feat in himself. However, he can't box. Let that sink in for a hot second. This boy can't box to save his life, and yet his brother got all the talent in the boxing world. Pipe down, guys. Pipe down. Yes, he does actually have some skill. Whether you like it or not, he does have some skill. But Sean, he can't box. So just because he was an Ohio wrestler, I don't think him training MMA, if the skill set is not there with his stand-up game, I don't care if his wrestling's there. There's a lot more to MMA than there is to just wrestling. And I just don't see him putting in that kind of effort if he can't even do it in boxing. Like, that's the way that I look at this. So it's like, he's teasing this MMA stuff, but in reality, bro, he's not good in boxing.
See,
he's not.
See, you say he's not good in boxing, but are you forgetting that expedition bout, even though it was kind of like, I'm going to tap you, you don't touch me.
Oh, my God. Are you talking about Floyd?
Yes. He took Floyd a lot further than I think anybody thought he was going to take Floyd. I don't think Jake Paul could have done that. That's why I think Jake Paul takes the fights that he takes. That's why I think he took
ballsy.
That's why he took the fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Do you think Julio has a shot?
I think, to be honest, I think the fact is that when the fight was being talked about, about between Canelo and Jake Paul, that was never a thing. Canelo had no intention of ever competing against Jake Paul. That's Jake Paul doing what he does, puppet master. And he's very good about that because he gets people to talk.
Okay, so let me ask you, right? So if Logan Paul enters MMA, he essentially follows Jake Paul because Jake Paul is signed to the PFL. Now, whether he actually ever steps inside of an octagon or a hexagon or whatever, that's to be determined. But if you look at the atmosphere and the trajectory of Jake Paul, Sean, right? Is Logan Paul, or would Logan Paul, stepping inside of an actual cage before his brother, make him the biggest crossover sports combat guy ever?
For sure. For sure. 100%. 100%. Just because of what I said a few minutes ago. Because he's got a machine behind him. He's fought on bigger main event cards in the WWE than his brother has ever done. Don't get me wrong. He's put on some magnitude of boxing events, Tristan, but nothing compares to wrestling in WrestleMania. Not once, but twice. Gone viral not once, but twice. Once against Ricochet, once against Roman Reigns. So he's always going viral. He's been to Saudi. So the magnitude, the globalness of Logan Paul is far greater than Jake Paul. And I know we're going to hear debate and banter from everybody else around the world about that. People still feel that Jake Paul is the it guy. No, look at what Logan's doing and then come correct. Because this is the one time I'm going to say, nah, dude, Logan Paul's the it guy. You talk about the A side and the B side. I'm sorry, Logan Paul's the A side. He's the B side.
So how do you see this going? Is it going to happen before we head into our second segment? And guys, we're probably not going to take a break. We're just going to keep going tonight because we're on TikTok Live. So this is vastly different. We got people tuning into us all around the world. So please hit the gifts, hit the gems, hit the likes, hit the loves.
Follow us.
Follow us
on TikTok.
Right? Follow us on TikTok. Show some love. This is all new to us, so please bear with us and stuff like that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that is tuning into us right now. In the process, Sean, is this going to happen? One last time. Is this going to happen?
I would say no, but because he's a Paul, I'm going to say there's about a 75% chance.
Why do you say 75%? I'm curious.
Because he's wrestling in the WWE and he's got a family.
Okay.
So I just got to go on the lower spectrum. And it's hard for me to say definitively no because he is a Paul.
Okay.
If he wasn't a Paul and this was being talked about and he was just some other guy doing a crossover and he's a YouTuber, then
sure.
Okay, a different conversation. But because he's a Paul brother, I can't doubt what they do, and I can't doubt the God-given athletic ability from Logan Paul.
Well, you know what's funny, though? Is that you know what you cannot deny? You cannot deny the talent that Patchy Mix has. You cannot deny that, can you?
No, and
we saw this guy in the years. What you guys don't realize about who we are and what we do.
We go way back.
We go way back. Let me put this into perspective. Those people that are tuning into us live, right? Yes, we've been gone for a minute. Don't get it twisted. We had some personal things that took us offline and put us behind the 8 ball. But don't worry about it. We back. But before everybody else thought that this was cool, before this was it, we were on ESPN in San Diego first. Let's put that out there. We were the ones that were the likes of the amateur ranks and stuff like that, giving people the platform to actually come on our show and learn how to speak and get in front of a camera. We were the ones. So before there were the ones, there were the twos, okay? There's only two other individuals in this combat sports world that could talk like we talk and do what we do, and they know exactly who they are, so I don't need to throw out the names out there. So I'm not going to throw that out there, but they know who they are because they were with us from day one. But the people that are with us, that has grinded with us, we were the fight combat sports talk radio before there was anything before. So here we are now. Fast forward to 2025, we're back. So thank you for joining us. We're not just a flash in the pan. We are the it. We are the fight talk. We are the real talk. So let's just put it the way that it is. And so we're back. And Patchy Mix was one of those guys that from day one, we saw from all different angles, Sean, did we not?
And that's the thing, like I was just talking, I think today to somebody at my work about Patchy Mix, that when you talk about Patchy Mix, we saw Patchy Mix when he was just a kid and grinding on the amateur circuit. We saw Patchy Mix back at Harris Casino out here in San Diego area.
Yes, we did. That's when
we first saw Patchy Mix, and we're like, wow, this kid had all the talent. Great wrestler, looked great on paper. The kid just exuded the next big thing. And then sure enough, you look where he's at now, and he got signed to Bellator, took off in Bellator, became their champion, ran through the division. It's one of those things that when you see what Patchy Mix did, you understand that, hey, you're letting a world-class champion for the PFL and Bellator, you're letting him sit on the sideline?
This guy was a former Bantamweight Grand Prix world champion. That's not a fake belt. That was a grind for Patchy Mix to earn that Grand Prix championship. This guy has elite striking. He has elite grappling. He has the it factor. He is relentless inside that cage. Anybody that steps into that cage in the UFC, I am sorry, but you are going to be into a world of pain, and he will take you into deep water if you don't know who he is. His only career loss was Juan Archuleta. And again, another guy we know, Juan Archuleta, guy that was down in King of the Cage, built up his record to being undefeated, steps inside the cage, dubbed as the one of the O's must go, and it was just so happy it wasn't Patchy Mix night. But there's nobody's fight IQ that right now that is on parallel to Patchy.
Right. And it's like, okay, so which matchups would you go with? And one of the ones that pops up is O'Malley. But if you look at O'Malley, O'Malley is a stand-up striker. That's what he is. Then if you put O'Malley versus Patchy Mix, you have a matchup similar to Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. A grappler versus striker.
Correct.
All Patchy Mix has to do is get a hold of him. Do you really believe that O'Malley would be able to stop Patchy Mix?
If it's not O'Malley and it's not an exciting or a jump off the paper fight, Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen, why not? Those are we're talking about a fighter that is at another level. And again, guys, why is this such a big thing? Because you guys don't realize it yet. Patchy Mix might already be the top third bantamweight in the UFC.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But that goes to show just how weak of a bantamweight division right now that outside of like the top 5,
right,
there's not a whole lot of people already at the top of the food chain. So you can look at that two sides of the coin, Tristan. You can look at it that Patchy Mix isn't really that good, and he just slides into a weak division. Or B, you look at it and go like, nah, dude, he's already at the top of the food chain. But the problem that I have here is like, no matter the level of talent, Tristan, that Patchy Mix has, what's the stigma that's on his back right now?
That he didn't want to fight in the PFL.
No.
Talk to me then.
Bellator. Bellator is like my equivalent to if you're an NFL player.
Right.
And you come from Penn State.
This is true. Okay.
And let me enlighten people what I mean by that.
I buy your brain.
So a good portion of prospects that come from Penn State never materialize at the next level in the NFL.
Unless you're Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Or LeVar Arrington.
Yes.
But it's one of those things that it doesn't always happen the way you think it's going to happen with the level of talent. And I say that about Bellator because there's been numerous of guys where we go, oh, we love this guy. We love this guy. This guy's really good. And then they go to Bellator and they get stomped out. So let's go down. Let's look back a little bit.
Eddie Alvarez.
Stomped out. You look at Michael Chandler. Love Michael Chandler.
Bounced.
Talk to Michael Chandler. Love the guy.
Yep.
But at this point, it's not going according to plan.
No, it's not.
So you look at that, check, nope. Eddie Alvarez, nope. You can't really say Justin Gaethje came from Bellator because Justin Gaethje came from World Series.
World Series of fighting before.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so you look at where everything's going. The next one up, remains to be seen, is what's going to happen with Patricio Pitbull. What's going to happen with Aaron Pico? So you've got all these guys lining up. Is he going to be just another number?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he going to actually be really good? If you listen to Patchy Mix believes his hype. We believe his hype.
Sean, he believes his own hype, and I believe in his own hype because after that Juan Archuleta loss, he's the one that simply got his mind back right, retooled his game, and added more dynamics to his game in his stand-up. That's what he did. He didn't just sit back and sit in his luxury box and think that he's okay with where his skill set was. No, he took a loss, thought about it, didn't go according to plan. So he watched the videotape, decided to say, you know what, I'm going to get better. And he got better.
But he gets better because it's, what is that old tired line, Tristan? Iron sharpens iron. When you're training out of Jackson Wink, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you're training with John Jones, Carlos Condit, Holly Holm, you're training with the baddest of the baddest.
Right.
Yeah, it starts to iron sharpens iron.
It does.
You start to believe that you're elite. So the conversation right now is centered around, well, UFC 316 was announced as his debut. We don't know who his opponent's going to be.
But we know that it has to be a top 10.
You can't bring in a world champion from Bellator and not expect that Patchy Mix is not going to fight a top 10 guy right away. Because if he fights a top 10, that O'Malley, that Marab fight may very well be there at the end of the day. But fight fans, remember the guy's name. You're going to, again, we just talked about Logan Paul being on the bigger stage, the grander stage. Now he gets to go from middle of the road to the big boys. No offense to people who fought in Bellator, PFL, whatever, but you go to the big boys. And I say that because, again, if you listen to Ryan Bader the other day, I think it was, talked about that it's really a shame where we're at right now with Bellator being gone, PFL not really doing anything with the Bellator fighters. There's really nowhere else to go to get paid. Yeah, unfortunately, you go to the UFC, and the UFC is the it factor.
They are the WWE.
To the AEW.
Yes.
Simple as that.
You get put into a bind, and that's where you end up. It is what it is. But my God, dude. Is Patchy Mix the next dark horse assassin at 135?
For sure. We just described why.
So we already described him as a top 3 automatically, correct?
Yep.
We can see him against the likes of Sean O'Malley. Do you give him the edge?
I give him the edge if he can get close. If Sean O'Malley can keep that distance and use that length to keep him at bay and use his strike and his elusiveness, then I think Sean O'Malley can easily take down Patchy Mix. But that's the thing. It's like Patchy Mix got to get close.
My brother. One other thing we have to talk about before we get to our next topic, my man, is that Patchy Mix. Let's get this absolutely 100% straight. This guy does not go to the decision. One of two things are going to happen. He goes out on his shield or they go out on their shield. 13 of his 19 wins have come via TKO. Let that sink in a little bit. That is absolutely wild. That when you look at Patchy Mix, that the outcome is because this guy is mentally tough and prepared for battle every single day.
I said it. Iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely incredible and nuts in itself. But as we roll in,
as we proceed
to give you what you want or what you need.
Wow, you butchered that one.
Yes, probably. But I'm Tristan Ducross. That's Sean Ducross. We are the Ducross brothers, the sports warriors. As you guys can see and stuff like that, we are dining in good stuff. So in the process, Sean, shout out to everybody that's tuning into us right now. First time out here on TikTok Live. I tip my hat to you guys. It's pretty fun to see everybody coming and joining and seeing. But let me see. I want to see something. Come on. What does this do?
What does what do?
I'm trying to see. Live goal? No. I was trying to see something. I don't know. I was trying to see if something worked, but apparently it doesn't. So, because there's things on this live TikTok that says, okay, hold up. I want this. Come on. Start.
What are you doing?
Quick poll.
Oh.
Yes. So check this out. Patchy mix, yes. Give the smiley face. If you don't like Patchy mix, then click on then give me a crying face. So
random?
So yes. So go ahead. Click on the two icons. Is Patchy mix a top 3 fighter? Let's go with that one. In bantamweight division.
Just give him one question.
Yes. Is Patchy mix right now top 3 in the bantamweight division in the UFC? Go ahead. We'll give you like 20 seconds to go ahead, spam your likes with your smiley face or your crying emoji. I want to see where everybody kind of stands right now. Is Patchy Mix a top 3?
Well, you already know where we stand, so can I do it?
I voted. Who's next? Click the face. Oh. I voted. Who's going to vote next?
I tried. It won't let me click the face.
Oh.
So I tried. That failed. We'll try again next
All
week.
right.
Or we'll try a little bit later.
Right.
But you know what? What we're going to try, I guess, right now is the fact that, have you heard the random Dana White rumors? Like, I tried to search all over the internet and try to figure out why this was even a thing. And it became a thing apparently when it was announced that Dana White is no longer promoting Canelo versus Bud Crawford. And then it magically became about, oh, is Dana White stepping away from the UFC? Oh, is Dana White stepping away from boxing? Oh, is Dana White retiring? Like, oh my God, fight fans. Are we just out there trying to get which headline is going to be clickbait worthy? Click, 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 click. I was like, come on, guys.
Let's see if we can get 10 roses. Come on, guys. Give us 10 roses. 10. 10. That's all I'm asking is 10 roses. Right now on our live feed. Let's go. Let's go.
Why? What does 10 roses do?
I don't know. It said add 10 roses, so I'm adding 10 roses. Just give me 10.
So let's post a question, Tristan.
Go for it.
Is Dana White pulling back?
I would say yes. And the only reason why I say yes is because as we continue to see Power Slap take into effect, right? He's introducing titles to Power Slap, which is weird, right?
You know that fight fans are weird in itself when you want to watch grown people get slapped so hard against the face with baby powder. Why don't you just call it that you're watching real people get pimp slapped?
This is true.
Like, what are we doing, folks? Mm-hmm. But it's taking off. It's crazy with the amount of popularity that Power Slap has garnered over the course of the last year alone.
Sean, so we come up with speculation. Again, you said stepping back. I said taking the next step. This is a guy that is not active in the promotion for Canelo and Bud Crawford, and we'll talk about that later because he's part of TKO. And we now know TKO is involved with the Bud Crawford.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was changed. That's right.
Yeah,
as of earlier,
last
that
week,
changed. Yes.
As of last week, when we were getting ready to try to touch on it, but our show ran a little short, we had to cut it.
This is true.
He's not part of the promotion, and then that's when the whole whirlwind of, oh my God, what's happening with Dana White took off on its heels. And it's like, guys, relax. He's still promoting UFC. He's still promoting the fight card that's the day before now for the UFC. So, guys, relax.
I agree.
It's not one. It's one of those things that is like everybody took something and like ran. It's like going headfirst into the deep end and go, woohoo, can I swim?
Can you swim?
I can swim.
But Sean, with the new boxing league,
I don't need floaties.
right? Either do I. But Sean, so why would his role be changing now? This day and age.
Again, Tristan, I don't think it's his role changing. I think it's him spreading his wings far.
Okay.
It's like what's happening with the WWE right now, Tristan, and Triple H. Triple H has his hands in every aspect right now of WWE, and then they go out and they acquire AAA. It's the same thing here with Dana White. Dana White has his hand involved in the UFC, Power Slap, TKO boxing. He's involved in every aspect of everything sports related. So I think it's getting to the point that maybe he'd be spinning himself a little bit too thin. But when you got a powerhouse like a guy like Nick Khan, who is with you and moving you in a direction, you got to keep up, because that's what Dwayne Johnson does. So Nick Khan is out there getting his own other Dwayne Johnson and Dana White and like, dude, let's run.
So if we're talking about Dana White essentially taking his ball and going away, at what point or who can we appoint to being that next person to kind of, I don't know, take the role of what Dana White is? Because as we see right now, Sean, Dana White, 100% of the time, Sean, right? We are now seeing him taking his step into something that is solely his. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Because the UFC was never really his, so to speak.
It was after the Fertitta brothers left it for him, basically.
To a certain degree, yeah, he played a role. But when we're talking about something that he can 100% say, damn it, this is mine, it's Power Slap.
And it's TKO boxing.
Those are two of his 100% created, founded, funded by him with the backers of others. That's his baby.
But that's the interesting thing, though, is like if those were his true babies, then we would hear about it by now, gaining 10 times more steam and more notoriety. But we don't.
I think 2026 we will. 2026, right now, no. 2026, I think, is going to be a big year for TKO boxing. You mark it here. Mark it here. Right here on our first TikTok live. Go ahead. Hit that little rosy, likey button. Spam us. Do whatever you need to do. 2026 is the year of TKO.
So we'll have to get to that in a second, because then I would like to know who you think would headline his first boxing promotion, because we know it's not going to be Canelo and it's not going to be Bud Crawford. So we would have to subsequently look at who would be the biggest headline that he could potentially get. But you talked about, well, who would take over the UFC if Dana White left? It would be a guy who runs the operations right now, the UFC operations side, and that is Hunter Campbell.
You think he's ready for it?
He's the current chief business officer.
Yep.
So
he is the Triple H of the UFC.
And he's got the backing of Daniel Cormier. He's got apparently a lot of backers behind him. So if Dana White goes, okay, I need to take a break or I need to pause here, then yeah, Hunter Campbell's going to be the next guy up. So it'll be interesting to see, is there really any legs to this? Or is it just what I say, clickbait stories that everybody else has been running with all week?
You know 100% about clickbait stories that a lot of media outlets love to run with because that's the only way they can actually talk or carry on anything is by getting a clickbait like headline, because that's what they do. Unfortunately, that's not what we do. You either like us or you don't. Simple as that. You either support us, read our stuff, like our stuff because of who we are, but you'll never get it twisted. You'll never get something different. You get fight talk, real talk from your boys, Sean and Tristan New Cross. So if you want, go ahead, follow us, the Sports Warriors. You're tuning into us right now. Just go ahead, hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Dude, can you throw out some more hearts? We're almost at 1,000 loves or whatever this is. God, I feel old every single time.
I would like to say, can I cuss right now? But I don't know if I want to.
I don't know.
But light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Ding!
Yes, go ahead.
So what's one of the bouts that have been talked about from a boxing crossover aspect? Because we were just talking about who would headline TKO boxing, the first one in 2026.
Okay.
So everybody that's
Shots
watching us
below the belt, thank you for joining.
So everybody there that is tuning in, let's see if you guys can answer this question. The boxer has an upcoming bout.
Okay.
In LA.
Okay.
He's called out a bare knuckle boxer, but he's not a boxer, but he was with BKFC.
Okay.
He's a former world champion. Has a contract in MMA. Can anybody tell me who it is?
Let's see. Thank you for the follow. Shots below the belt. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning into us right now. I don't know.
Okay, so if nobody can answer it in the chat, has anybody answered it in the chat?
No.
Okay.
Anybody got any answers in here? Oh, shots below the belt says Brock Lesnar.
No. Nice try.
Dude, did anybody see Brock Lesnar with the long hair?
Yeah, that looks weird.
Okay.
Looks weird.
But, hey, speaking of the devil, since Brock Lesnar was just mentioned, hold on. That would be an interesting thing in TKO.
Not for boxing, it wouldn't.
Okay.
He's a grappler.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, if you want to see him get knocked out again.
I was okay with that.
But no. So, who BKFC, former world champion, Conor McGregor.
Oh.
Verse.
Go ahead. Drop it.
Jake Paul.
Yep. Mega. Oh, my God. You want to talk about. So.
See, that's what I'm saying.
If Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez has already turned out $1 million gate, and we ain't even into the fight card yet, or into the fight, and you're already drawing $1 million gate.
I'm just saying, send this out there to Conor McGregor. Send this out to Jake Paul. Tag him. 2026 Ooh. TKO boxing. Dana White, make this happen.
Headline.
Because you want to put a show on Netflix. This will get you the biggest draw you could possibly get on TKO boxing on Netflix if it's not Canelo and it's not Bud Crawford. The only other one I could see is the one that we talked about last week, Tristan.
And you would
that if you finally get Canelo versus David Benavidez.
Man, oh man.
That would be the only other one in 2026 that I could see that on Netflix, on TKO boxing, that could take TKO boxing off to another level. But if you want to build out the first fight card for TKO boxing, you do TKO boxing and MVP promotions. You take, there it is. Here it is. Ooh, I went into my Zen. Who's fighting on LA? Who just signed to MVP promotions?
Holly Holm.
Who did we say Holly Holm would like to fight next week? I mean, last week.
I can't remember.
She wants a world title shot against Amanda Serrano.
Oh, Conor McGregor, Jake Paul, Jake Paul's protege, Serrano versus Holly Holm.
I'm just saying. Money. Oh, I went into my Zen moment. I
bookmark that. You heard it here from the Ducross brothers first.
I just channeled my light bulb. Whew. You should book me for that.
Sean, Shots Below the Belt says, what's it going to take for the fighting community to acknowledge Jake Paul as an actual threat?
Well, that's the thing we were talking about earlier. Is that
I'm clapping for that because, Sean, we are so far into this boxing world now, right? That Jake Paul, regardless of what he has accomplished, has he had some weird fights? Circus fights? Yes. But Sean, his boxing, regardless if you want to accept it or not, admit it, it's getting better every single time, is it not?
Yeah.
He's going to go against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, anybody can think of what they want about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., okay? Say what you want about that kid. He's not like his dad. He's had other issues aside. He's still a Julio Cesar Chavez.
You got to respect the name.
You still got to respect the name, and you still got to respect that there's an ounce of fight still left in that kid. And there's an ounce left in that kid as long as he still breathes the breath of his dad, as long as he's still on this planet, as long as he can still step inside that squared circle. But he's still a boxer, and he still has a fighting chance, does he
Tristan,
not?
to answer the question, what is it going to take?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to fight a boxer who is either not... What's the right word I want to say? Because, so, he lost to Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was not a name, but he was a boxer.
He fought Mike Tyson, but come on, let's be real.
It wasn't a fight.
It wasn't a fight. And Shots Below the Belt says, be real. Was Mike Tyson fight a publicity stunt? 110%.
Yeah, because you watched that fight, Mike Tyson could have knocked him out 3 times in a row.
100%.
And picked him back up and knocked him back down again.
Facts.
So the way I look at it is that you've got to get to a real fight because you can pick apart all these fights that he's had. The Mike Tyson publicity stunt. Tommy Fury, yeah, he lost. But to be honest, I don't know how I really feel about that fight. You looked in about this fight. I mean, you look at Julio Cesar Chavez, he's had so many personal demons. And I'll just say that because I don't want to get TikTok banned. So you look at all those aspects of people who he's fought. Guy, like I said earlier, him calling out Canelo and saying that Canelo ducked him and then immediately signed a 5-year contract with the Saudis. I don't even think that was even a real conversation with Canelo. Let's just be real. He'd been calling out Canelo for at least 3 years. If Canelo really wanted to fight a YouTuber, he would have fought a YouTuber a long time ago just to put him in his place. Here, this is the fight that needs to happen. Ryan Garcia versus Jake Paul. Because Ryan Garcia wants to call him out and say that, oh, I started your boxing career. So then end it.
Hey, Sean, educate people. How did he start his boxing career?
Oh, wait, what, that body shot thing? That Gymshark thing on his thing? On his chest? And like hit that left hook? Like, okay, that's cute.
That's where this all stemmed from, did it not? So go ahead, Sean. We've already achieved a lot tonight. So thank you guys. Man, this has been wild. Thank you guys for tuning into us. This is our second show back in 2 years. So thank you. In 3 years. So thank you guys for tuning into us and making this an amazing live right now for us. I'm actually smiling and giddy. We have people that are talking to us in the chat. We got gifts. We got people tuning to us and sharing us. So thank you guys. But, man, as we continue to kind of move through this, right, we got what?
10 minutes left?
10 minutes left, give or take? So go ahead, throw up some roses, share our live. Just show some more love, guys. Thank you, guys. You guys have shown some love for us. Man, it's been wild. I can't say that enough. But Sean, Canelo Alvarez for Bud Crawford.
And the reason why we got to talk about this, Tristan, is because, like we just talked about a minute ago, is that the fight was moved to Saturday, September 13th. Still, what is it? The holiday. I forgot what it is. Because UFC is throwing their, I think it's like Mexican Heritage Weekend or something like that. Sorry, guys. Tristan's going to look it up and get it politically correct for me. But the venue was supposed to be in Las Vegas, and it was supposed to be on Netflix, but Dana White is out. So is TKO Boxing. It's all Saudi. It's all the Riyadh season thing, and hopefully I got that one right too. Like, my goodness. So it's during that season, and he'll be defending his undisputed super middleweight titles: the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, the WBO. Like, oh my God, why do we have so many titles?
We've said it from the beginning, Sean, that boxing really needs to do away with a lot of these titles. I'm just saying. Like, there are so many titles, and you don't need it.
So here's the thing, Tristan, about this Canelo versus Bud Crawford, and we touched on it a couple times when it was first announced. Bud Crawford has subsequently cleaned out 3 weight divisions in a 4-belt era. But yet, we don't talk about Bud Crawford on the level that we talk about Canelo.
Nope, but hold on. I do have to make a quick pivot. Sean. As much as I love you, you're looking at it too. I have to make a quick pivot. Because Shots Below the Belt's asking, did he miss the AEW Double or Nothing predictions?
Hold up. Yes and no. Because I forgot about the AEW predictions. So yes and no, but we'll finish this talk and we'll get to the predictions before we wrap up the show.
Okay. Shots Below the Belt, we'll get to you. We'll finish up this and come right back to what you want to hear about the predictions. But so, Sean, I do think Crawford's going to win. For the first time, I'm going against Canelo. I'm going Bud Crawford, and I think he's going to get the tap. It's going to be done. It's going to be tap, done.
But that's the thing is, like, how does Bud Crawford not get the notoriety?
Because we've been waiting for this fight. Like, everybody talks about the Benavidez fight, but everybody's been trying to bid for Bud Crawford to get a shot, too. Everybody else was jumping those 2 guys.
Canelo didn't want to get hurt against Skull because he knew this fight was there. They had Bud Crawford already there. So this was already predetermined. It's like, please, God, don't hurt me. I need to make it. I need to survive. I need to get to this fight night. But for you guys that don't know about Bud Crawford, versatile striker, competes at a high level, high IQ.
Ooh. And the unorthodox, he's a switch.
Yeah.
The IQ. Canelo's never faced a guy like this. No, he hasn't. Let's go, Bud. And I don't mean that like, what's up, Bud? No, let's go, Bud Crawford. In the immortal word, dude, I'm going to make this part of my saying. We the ones, you the twos. Live will end in 4 minutes.
Oh. That's kind of cool, right? And weird at the same time.
Right.
Thank you for the weirdness.
Right.
I'm surprised TikTok let us go an hour.
Oh, dude, this is cool. This is really cool. It literally told us that we can and cannot go live. So thank you. But Sean, so we do only have 4 minutes because we're going to max out this live stream apparently. So thank you guys for tuning into us and making us a hit. Thank you guys.
So then let's go ahead and flip over for the last 4 minutes to AEW Double or Nothing Sunday, Let's get some predictions. So, Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament final.
Thank you, Shots.
Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. Who you got?
Wait. You said Hangman versus who? Will Ospreay? Will Ospreay. Owen Hart champion. Because he's going to All In Texas for the World Championship.
And see, I want to believe that, but something's going to happen where Hangman Page is going to get that opportunity. I think he's going to beat Will Ospreay because he needs to reinvention, redo his character, and basically right all the wrongs he did.
Sean, so
I've got Hangman Adam Page, especially after their promo. I'm going to go Hangman Adam Page winning for that and getting a world title shot at All In because somebody's got to dethrone Moxley at some point.
all right, so I'm going to break down the card. I have the card right here for our boy. Shots below the belt. Thank you, man. That means the world to us. Yeah, dude. 3 years we missed it. We're back. Appreciate you. Thank you. Hi, Fally. Hi. You're raising your hand. I don't know why. Are you just saying hi? But Sean, so Paragon versus Don Callis family. Who do you got?
I don't like the name Paragon.
I don't like the name Paragon either.
You just randomly threw away the Undisputed Kingdom
and the Undisputed Era, and you go with Paragon.
And don't get me wrong, at the beginning it was supposed to be Paragon before they ended up with Undisputed Kingdom.
I don't care. Paragon. What? Why?
But Paragon.
Okay, Paragon. Same. Do we get a new world champ in Okada versus Speedball?
No, Okada wins.
Okada. Anarchy in the Asylum.
That's going to be ridiculous.
We are bringing back professional wrestling the way professional wrestling is supposed to be.
Okay.
Is it true?
When you look at that, it sucks we're going to miss on this, but you look at Anarchy Arena, Gabe Kidd, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs. Those three guys alone are going to be destructive, and there's going to be things that we thought we would never see. We're going to see it in this. You want to see blood?
I was just going to say that.
You want to see craziness? Like, if you thought that the Anarchy in the Asylum in the arena with Bryan Danielson, where, what's his name? What's his name? King. Mad King.
Eddie Kingston.
When
That's
Eddie
right.
Kingston tried to set the dude on fire.
Yep.
If you thought that was levels of bad and choked out with the rope,
Yes, and Darby hanging upside down. Yes.
this is going to be next level.
If
and
you
the
guys-
Bucks,
if you
one
guys-
of them, mark my words, one of them is going to take a bump that we're going to say, ooh, he probably shouldn't have done that.
It's going to live rent-free in our heads. Somebody's going to take a bump and it's going to live rent-free in our heads.
For sure. And somebody's not walking out not injured. Trust me.
The dumbest match of the night award will simply go to Mark Briscoe and Ricochet.
In a stretcher match?
Yes. Who do you got?
But see, that's the problem I have. It seems like a double or
No,
nothing.
the Young Bucks are not good heels.
But-
They're annoying.
They're good heel. But the problem with that bout is, again,
I guess if you want to punch him in the face.
again, is why do you have a match like Anarchy in the Arena, which is a no DQ, to have another no DQ?
Right.
That mentality doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so you go to no DQ to a DQ match. Then you go to FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I don't understand this. FTR continues to be put into dumb situations after dumb situations.
And want to know what's dumb? Mark my words right here, right now.
FTR loses.
Maybe, but man, dude, I hate. Everybody loves Nigel McGuinness, but that's not where I was going. But everybody loves Nigel McGuinness, but except for I hate his facials.
I hate his
Has
facials?
better
I
facials
have-
than he does. Like, but no, the one that's going to bother me the most is the Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas, because Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin should win that bout handedly. But watch, MJF is going to help him win that when there's no need for it.
There's no need. Yeah, there's no need for MJF to. Okay, there's no reason for MJF to even be in the Hurt Syndicate.
No, it's weird.
like said something. I will have to scroll back up, but shots below the belt brought up a very good point because I was going to bring it up because I thought the same way. Was that he is the Sami Zayn of the bloodline?
Yeah, that's what they just said.
MJF has no reason to be in the Hurt Syndicate. He ain't about hurting people.
See, what would have been a more ploy is like, okay, how many weeks did we do this shenanigans?
Oh, God. We drug this out way too long.
Then it would have been nice to go back and regurgitate the Pinnacle.
So, again,
the Pinnacle would make more sense. If you could talk about FTR wanted to get their title shots back, put them back with MJF. And
you could do the Pinnacle.
And not put them in a feud with Daniel Garcia.
If you seriously think that FTR has nothing going for them right now, you could have literally removed MJF from whatever downward slope he is in because every promo is the same.
Right.
And don't get it twisted. I like MJF, but his promos are exactly the same every single time, every single week. So I get trying to do something new with him, but you could have put him back into the Pinnacle with FTR because FTR, at least their stick, their gimmick is that they need something else. They are the best tag team in the world, and they need those titles. So they're going after it.
I would have paid to see MJF redo the Pinnacle, bring FTR, and have FTR compete against the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles.
Yes.
Not in a Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness feud. Not to take anything away from them, but that's just throwing two random schmucks together and saying, let's see if this sticks.
And instead we get Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas.
Too, that's writing on the wall, Tristan, is one of two things are going to happen.
Talk to me.
Tony Storm is going to defeat Mina Shirakawa. But it's a perfect setup to bring back, again, Mariah May? Or for crying out loud, Britt freaking Baker.
If it's not Britt Baker, and what was the other one that you just said?
Mariah May.
Mariah May. If both of those do not come back, and Mariah May said that she's not going anywhere. She was just literally on vacation, so she said, "Thank you for keeping her name out there." But if it's not either one of those two, again, you did a one-off with Megan Bayne, who's supposed to be this monster, right? She's in a tag team with Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. I swear, you just keep throwing Harley Cameron at something. It's like, what's those little sticky things that you throw to the wall and it sticks?
But that was one of the things, Tristan, was that you missed the boat on giving Harley Cameron a chance.
Yep.
She was so far over with her singing gimmick, everything else.
With Mercedes Moné.
You had the chance to put the title on her at Grand Slam. You missed it.
Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné had a sit-down promo, which was awkward in itself. Please, I'm begging you. Can we just take the microphone away from Mercedes Moné?
Well, I'm not a fan of Jamie Hayter.
I'm not a fan of either.
Everybody likes Jamie Hayter. I'm just not a fan. I'm riding Mercedes Moné.
Again, you passed over Jamie Hayter once. You passed her over twice. You've passed her over 3 times. Is the 4th time the charm that she's going to be crowned a champion? I don't think that they're taking the title off of Mercedes Moné because, again, if we're looking at All In, is Jamie Hayter going to sell tickets or is Mercedes Moné going to sell tickets?
No, because what's going to happen is that Mercedes Moné is going to win, and then we're going to run it back at Texas, and we're going to run back Athena versus Mercedes Moné for the title.
I would love that. And then give it to Athena.
Absolutely. In her home state of Texas.
100%. I would be
But
okay
I would
with
not pass Tony Khan if he runs the other direction, folks. But running in the other direction is what we are going to do right now as we run and look forward to next week's show.
Yep. So, again, everybody, wow, what a night. Thank you guys for tuning in to us. I tip my hat to all you guys. This was fun to be on our first live here on TikTok. We are Sean and Tristan Ducross. You can follow us on our socials right here. Follow us.
Share us.
In the process, we are on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I feel old, but it is what it is. And then we also got our website at www.ducrossbrothers.com. In the process, man.
Our Instagram, our IG.
Yep. Shake my hand, Sean. Shake my hand. This was good. This was fun. So
go to our Instagram, like us, follow us, whatever you guys want to do. but it's the.sports.warriors. Go ahead. Follow us over there as well for all things social media for the brothers.
And thank you for crossing that line with us. Until next time, we do this every Thursday. So maybe we'll just keep doing it right here on TikTok. We out.